Carla from Carla Croft Cosplay. Here in my hand I have a list of questions I got asked by people the day of 8Con on Friday, Saturday, and just questions I've been getting asked online, and just address a couple things that people have been wondering about. So here we go. My first question was, and it's always the one I get asked the most, is how did I make the costume? I had this idea about Lara having her clothes painted on, like ever since I played Tomb Raider, like since 16 years ago. I kind of looked like the in-game model of the classic Lara. Insert photo right here. Certain aspects of the costume were like 3D, they were just kind of standing out. So that was like the recipe. I love drawing and painting. That's like a specialty of mine. I've gone to school for it and everything. It's just, I didn't know how to verbalize that idea into something that would look good and I wouldn't get ridiculed for. So it wasn't until this year that I finally just realized how I was going to make it, and then I just started brainstorming with a friend of mine. I took a leotard. I just kind of traced, you know, the lines where I would think it would look ideal to have the polygon effect on there with the retro shading. And then the pants contoured the butt cheeks, which everybody seems to think they're just like big old hands like hugging my butt cheeks. It's pretty funny, but it's just a contouring, I swear. It's all in the render model. The backpack at first used to have straps on there, and then just before the convention I kind of came up with the idea that I should make it a floating backpack. So behind of my leotard I put a strap, put Velcro on there, sewed it on top of my leotard, and then I slapped it against my backpack and then painted the straps on my leotard, and actually that made it like super accurate. The gloves cut out, fabric dyed, and then I just kind of painted the hand areas on there. How did I make the poly boobs? Literally it's just like a cardstock of cardboard. I kind of made it into like a 3D platform, and then I just kind of stuffed it inside of my leotard, and because the leotard was already painted on, it brought out this like 3D aspect of it, and it was really successful for being such a plainly cheap idea. I got a lot of improvement and feedback advice aside from the holy shit and that's amazing and wow, how the hell did you do it. The constructive criticism I've had so far is people feel like I should match my skin to the mask. That's actually something I really thought about. I just didn't have the time to enforce it. I wanted to buy Crayola makeup and just kind of do my body the same tone as a mask, and just kind of use my art skills and just kind of do like a faux lines, you know, between the polygon arms and the legs, but I just didn't have the time for that. I have better suggestions online though that people came up with. They thought that I should wear like a bodysuit and then just paint the bodysuit to have the polygons, you know. And then someone else told me to wear like cardboard down the inside and then just have it like fraction into segments like that. That way I could have like the whole polygon kit. Their suggestion was I need a bigger bust. That was more of like a preference thing. I know that she does really indeed have a bigger chest, you know. I mean, it starts from the neck down. I'm like 5'4" at best, and there were certain aspects of the costume that I really couldn't make completely accurate, like the boobs. I couldn't like upsize them to like a scale D for the cardstock, because in all reality the leotard was not going to fit that much on there. So I was only able to like upsize it about like a C or something, and they have like that perfect triangular shape, everything that looked like it fit me. Like I didn't want to make it look like it fit somebody else, and it was just too huge for me. I wasn't really gonna try to exaggerate certain aspects of the costume past like my size. I mean, I am really a small woman. I felt like I'm so petite in so many ways that I did not want to look like comically ridiculous. I lost the cardstock that actually made the effect for the polygon chest. I have to make a new one. I might use Worbla so that way it's a lot more comfortable and it's not just a piece of cardboard in the form of a triangle shoved up in there, because I mean it literally was. People told me that they feel like the illusion of the Polygon Lara is broken when they figure out that I'm actually a real person with a real life backdrop. I actually want to myself do a backdrop even before people suggested this. I'm thinking about doing the Lost Valley and Peru and have some sort of you know, the ski-on pieces and the artifacts and little medipacks, so that's kind of already in the works. I know some of you seem to think that I used UGG boots for my costume, but I actually used some knockoffs from eBay. They don't really claim to be Uggs, they're just boots, they're just winter boots really. They really just look like blocks of boots to me. So I bought them in about a tan color. I'm going to insert a photo here. And after that, I went ahead and hand painted them brown. I painted the laces, and then I made the mock socks in there. And I just wore them really, and then all I had to do was figure out how to put the sound button inside on my socks so that every time I walked that you could hear the sound. So that's how I made the boots. It's hard to keep the illusion that I'm a polygon when everything else around me is obviously not polygon. But I wanted to cover the mask and the guns because I know that's like a very big question people have. My friend, another cosplayer from the Tomb Raider community, from Carla Croft Cosplay, she is a paper crafting genius. I got in touch with Faye and I said, hey, you know, wouldn't it be just funny to do this mask kind of thing? And I went online and I saw a lot of photos of people had like made the model and everything. She managed to figure out the mask for me. She has a program, imports the model from an in-game. This is all from the game, by the way. She imports the model from the game. She moves around the bones. She figures out what parts she wants from the model. After that, she gets it printed out into cardstock, depending on what scale she's working on. And then from there, she assembles it by hand. It's just a lot of manual work. And for her to figure out from where she was living at to where I'm living at, without ever seeing each other, by the way. We never saw each other. There was no fitting or anything. I gave her all my measurements from top to side, bottom, back to back, and ear to ear. And I like measured the length of my neck and everything. She was able to make me this mask. The mask wears a lot like a helmet. You know, like the hair in the back is like a helmet, and the front side is like a visor with some Velcro strips going around on the top, and it's got like a tie-in at the inside that I can just pull into. Wearing the mask was an impairment, to say the least. ACOM 25 Friday afternoon was full of a lot of people. And I would get stopped all the time, or somebody would try to tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, I want a photo with you, and I would not be able to see who it was because I had no vision. And the way the mask worked, because I wanted the accuracy, I did not want to tear up the eyes. So like what I did is I made holes about not even a quarter the size of my nail. And I just made it to the exact same distance her eyes really were in the mask. And I wore it, and I had this huge blind spot in the middle of my vision because of the polygon nose. So I couldn't really see. I couldn't really talk to people because people couldn't hear me. Only my best friend, you know, Angela, and her sister Melissa, they handled me the whole day. Like, they made sure people didn't try to get fresh with me or touch me or just be weird around me, because I mean I couldn't see anything. So I couldn't see, I couldn't hear, and I couldn't talk. So you can imagine how hard it was to move around a convention full of people with this costume. But I mean, it was so worth it. It was just amazing. I had a great time. Why retro Lara and not modern day Lara? I am a huge nostalgia person, like a huge 90s kid. Like, I mean, I got my Fifth Element tattoo here for those of you who are curious. I've been able to cosplay different incarnations of Lara throughout the years. Like, I mean, literally, 16 years. It's like, it's a long time. You can pretty much cosplay every and any costume you want from Lara. I don't know, I wanted to bring old Lara back. Like, Lara's evolution throughout the years is taking her further and further away from who she was. I love old Lara. Like, I've never had a problem with any Lara ever. Like, I've never been like, oh, well, there's some features about her or the guns or whatever. I've never felt like I disagreed with what Lara is. Like, she's a huge inspiration to me. She's a role model. I just wanted to pay ode to 16 years of celebration with the start of the Tomb Raider game. Her polygon count was like supremely low, and she barely looked like a person, according to a lot of people. I thought she looked kind of cartoony, and I just kind of enjoyed it like that because it was like a creative thing. It was a dream costume, actually. Like, since I was playing old Tomb Raider games, I was like, man, I would really give anything to be exactly like that. That's where another part of the recipe I had came from, which it wasn't me cosplaying Lara, it was Lara who took over me. Like, I didn't want to look like myself when I was cosplaying her. I had sound buttons on my costume, which was really hard for people to hear because I was able to actually walk to stride, and I practiced my stride. I practiced how I was moving my hands, because Lara has her fist closed about 5 games in. And just later on, I tried nodding my head just like the character in the game because my friends were like, hey, well, Lara just only nods because her lips don't move all the way up until Last Revelation, where they finally start like moving her little polygon mouth, and I mean, that's still not even consequential. So I practiced all these things and I did all these things, and the amount of feedback was incredible. People ask me what is the future for Carla Croft Cosplay on Facebook. I am wanting to do the new Tomb Raider game Lara, which we all saw the E3 trailer teaser. If you haven't seen it, please go on YouTube and watch it. It's amazing. I want to do the comic book Lara. There's also one more costume. The last costume I would love to do is not an in-game Polygon Lara, but a render Lara. A classic render Lara. This is Carla from Carla Croft Cosplay signing out, and I'll talk to you guys later.